Okay, so Tuesday, 27th of August. Um, Today was okay, actually, pretty good day. Had a few losing trades in the AM, with which I quite liked, and then in the PM, one, actually no, two winning trades, and that wiped out both the losses and put me up as well. So I'm up around, actually, how much? I actually don't know how much I'm up. Okay, around 250 on the day. So not bad. Definitely could have been more like a $500, $600 day, and I'll go into that. But that's something to learn from and something I need to apply when going into tomorrow and future trades. But we'll start off with what I saw in the morning. So again, it's a bit peak. I can't do replay mode on this, but I'll try and explain as best as I can. So the white dotted vertical line indicates 8 a.m. London Open. So I really liked this build up of low resistance liquidity. Notice how no low gets taken. This low, but I'm not counting that. But no swing low really gets taken. So we're building up all this low resistance. We come up, we sweep buy side liquidity internally. And we're also in an hourly fair value gap. I've only drawn the 50 one on because I think that's more of a stronger area, but we were in this hourly fair value gap. We come up, sweep the external high, and then I clocked on ES. We hadn't swept it, so we had the SMT, so we have a bearish divergence there. And maybe a winning trade was in the morning actually. Maybe I had a losing one first though. One thing which I liked was I had a small little long, actually, which I haven't drawn in, but it was targeting this high here. If I zoom in, the long I took was yeah, it was this long here. So we had this fair value gap. Yes, this draw was taken, so I shouldn't be looking for longs, but the fact on ES, it was currently an SMT. I didn't know if the SMT was going to hold or not, so I saw this SMT, and I saw the fact we were bouncing off this 1 minute, so I zoomed into the 15-second to look for the trade with the best risk. SMT, saw this big displacement back up. I entered on the sweep of liquidity. I entered here, stop at the low, and I targeted, I think my first take profit was these highs, and then I left the runner. The first take profit hit, and then got stopped at break even. But that was mainly like a small little win, and it was a good habit of flipping my bias. So yes, buy side had been taken, so I shouldn't be looking for longs. However, I'm so confident with that model of bouncing off a bigger time frame and an SMT. This confluence, or these two confluences together, can be really. I just have so much conviction for it that I was okay taking that trade, even though it was against the bias. So I was fine with that. Then once I saw this SMT play out, so we didn't come up and sweep it, we held the SMT, displaced back down to here, and this to me looks like a clear market structure shift. We might sell. I was thinking we'd sell a bit quicker than what we did, so I was like, I like this first 1 minute fair value gap. I had a limit order in, stop at the high, and this got stopped out pretty quickly, so I was like, okay, this 1 minute here, I'll re-enter again, stop pretty tight, really good risk on both of these. I think what I failed to recognize was I should have maybe waited for the internal model. In terms of there's so much space here, and there's not much build-up of low resistance liquidity that we can just drop straight away. Plus, this high was never taken out. This is just generating equal highs. So I'm okay with these 2 losses. Again, it was, I think, 1 or 2 contracts probably together lost me less than $100 and would have gained me like $200, $300. So I was okay with the risk. I was okay with the trade. And then I stepped away as well. So once this happened, I stepped away, let markets do its thing for a bit. I think I went for a shower or something, came back. Again, the fucking discrepancy with TradingView. TradingView had swept this level. But on Top Step we have equal highs, but I took the Top Step. I took the TradingView side of it because TradingView swept it, so I was like, okay, TradingView also looked really clean on this, so I was like, okay, if people are taking that, there's going to be liquidity there, so this got swept, big displacement back down, we ran this bullish fair value gap. I notice how there's no sort of fair value gaps until you get down here, so there's nothing in this area to worry about in terms of bouncing. Like, there's no reason with bounce. None of these are swing points. These are literally, this is just a move up, and the only fair value gap you could ever worry about is down here, but that's so close to the liquidity point that it's not valid in my opinion. So I saw this bearish 1 minute hold, then we bum through the bullish, turns inverse, we come up, the inverse holds, and then I just chuck a long, a short. I think my stop was at this high here. I was thinking of putting it here, but this imbalance hadn't properly been filled with this turtle soup like entry, so I was like, yeah, just give it a bit of room. And I won to 2.44, so good risk, good model. And yeah, that was, I kind of forgot I had that trade in the morning, but did I take that on ES as well, or no, I just took it on NQ. I like NQ's action's been, I think, more clean than ES recently, and also it's a bad habit, but I like how you can make more money off NQ due to the per tick or whatever, how much money you get. And then I stepped away after this win. Actually, no, I know what happened. Around here, after those 2 losses, I stepped away, went for a shower. Then I saw this right before I was leaving for the gym, so I slapped it on. Actually, yeah, this is what I want to talk about. So this trade, I could have made so much more money on, and this actually happened twice today. And this is when life gets in the way, because I was going to the gym. I have a written schedule. I'm not going to break certain rules just to stay on the charts for an extra 10 minutes. But I had this trade. I think it was currently, we look like this. And say this happened at 8 in the morning. I would then look, there was another stop right here, so I would have scaled in here. I would have maybe had a runner down to these lows, because there's no reason to not have a runner at least to this low. So this could have easily been like this, and with more contracts. But I was going to the gym, so I just thought, fuck it, I'll just leave it. Nice stop, nice TP, and I knew that if we were going to sell and it was the right time, this would be an area which would definitely go to. So happy with this trade. One thing I could definitely do is, I don't think it was my fault, but looking back, looking how bearish we were with all this generated low resistance liquidity, I should have assumed that this first point was going to get melted through, which it absolutely did. So potentially I could have had more balls and put the TP down here potentially, but I would always scale something at the first low hanging fruit level. So I don't really know what else to say with this. Yeah, I'm personally happy with it. In my journal I was happy with it, but yeah, time and price, where I was at the time, I can't really do much about that. And then obviously I'm at the gym, I come home for then the PM session, so all this has already happened. Was there any sort of entries? Let's go swipe, retracement, potentially something up here. And then this is also important, so similarly to the first trade I made where I had a bullish bias even though buy side was taken. So sell side's been taken here. Notice on ES, it's also been taken before New York opens. So realistically, I should be looking for longs. But noticing the selling pressure and what I wanted the draw to be. So I like this sell side level here, and I like this 4 hour. So ideally, I want to sell off more than what we did. But I was looking for more shorts. We had this big dump on the 15-minute generating multiple fair value gaps. So I was like, okay, these are either going to get ran through, and then we're going to sweep the high, which happened. But what happened first is we respected it. So similarly on a ES, had this big dump, lots of 15-minute fair value gaps. And my entry was, I like this little buy side level nestled into this 15-minute fair value gap. So I treated this as turtle soup. I didn't want to put my trade in there straight away because I didn't know if this 15-minute above it was going to be the one we reject off. So I waited for the internal model to show itself. So then zooming in to the area which I expect to reject on the 50-minute. I actually got stopped out initially, but then realized that it was a stop raid and re-entered. So all this low resistance liquidity, again, noticing how no lows getting taken. This is all just a build up of liquidity with the main liquidity level down here. What the fuck? What the fuck? So yeah, we swept liquidity, turtle soup entry. Then we come down. Now, my entry here, so this to me is early actually, and I'm not sure why I took this because there is no, oh, I know what it was. It was this fair value gap got run through, and then I think I entered trying to treat it as an inverse, and I liked all this low resistance, so I knew it was going to be a speedy move. I don't think this is a great trade purely because the amount of chop we're having. Notice how close it is to the market open. I mean, I know this trade is also close, but this is literally on market open. And I'm already looking for a trade, and I see an inverse. I'm like, oh, okay, I think I was a bit too quick. I think I should have waited. But then again, we did drop, so it must have been a good, decent amount of profit, and then we just reversed, and I got stopped out. So, and I'm also not going to take off the position here. There's no reason for me to take it off here. This is just price rebalancing and generating more liquidity for a future. This is nothing. This isn't like a move down to then, oh no, we didn't like reach the sell side level, we're now bullish. Like, this is nothing. So I noticed this, and we come up, sweep again, so another turtle soup entry. Get rid of this now, and then we also form SMT. So with ES, there's a turtle soup entry, come up, don't sweep it here, here we do sweep it, and like you saw, both of these imbalances get ran through, so I was like, okay, yeah, we're time to sell. Here it had been a little bit too premature for me, so I waited for this one to get disrespected, pulled back into this area, entered short again, stop at this high. It's a decent size stop. I didn't want to put it right at the very high, which would be ultra safe, so I kept good risk here, about a 1 to 2. And we sold off hard, hitting my take profit 1. I might take profit 2. I think here is when I could have maybe had another runner going down to that initial sell side level, which is annoying because the whole reason I like this setup was because of this sell side level. So the fact I didn't leave a runner was just retarded, to be honest. This would be a nice 1 to 4. I think actually what happened in the end was once my TP1 hit, I moved my stop to break even, then TP2 hit, and then I should have let TP3 hit, and that would have been, you know, if I would have, I think I was in 3 or 4 contracts, take off 2 here and 2 here. If I would have taken off 1 here and 1 here, that probably would have been an extra 100. But the main things, did I have good habits? Yes, it was a good model. It was good risk. It didn't over leverage. I'm pretty happy with this. And then I stepped away. Oh, actually, I also took the exact same trade on ES because ES also looked clean. So had the SMT, big push. If this low here would have taken out this level, then there's no trade for me. The fact that this low wasn't taken out when we pulled back gave me an indication that, okay, there's still liquidity here, so this is a target. And I entered on in this fair value gap here. So I entered there on the tick, gets ticked, stop at the SMT high. I could have had it a bit lower, but I like it at that. I consider this a protected high because there's no reason for us to come back here after this technically swept this on NQ. And yeah, just dropped. My TP1 was here, and my TP2 was down here. And I think I might have left the runner, but then I got stopped out. Oh no! So what happened here was, yeah, there was an SMT. This, I think I was just too much of a pussy because this, yeah, where was it? This low. Can't remember where, but basically there was a small internal SMT around here, and I invalidated half of my trade. So I think, did I take it all off at TP1 or? I'm not sure. I should really know this, but in terms of the trade, it doesn't really make a difference. There was an SMT, I took it off, and then we rallied down. But we didn't reach the same low as we did on NQ. So maybe the SMT, did hold significance as we then reversed. So again, not mad about this trade. Good model, good risk. And yeah, that was all the trades I made today. Then after I had those 2 wins, I stepped away. We'll see if there was anything that I missed. So I think I can already see something. So we swept sell side. Big push up. This never got filled. But on the 1 minute. Big push up. Yeah. I don't really like this. To me, this is just a straight up move. I'd maybe on ES potentially. Ooh, nah, I'm not really liking anything here. So it's like taking, I guess this SMT here. What's the 1 minute saying? Swipe liquidity. This would be a market structure shift. And then the fact that this is equal lows, I just don't like at all. So no, not anything which is dumb clear. And if I'm making a trade, I want it to be dumb clear. So, and we're looking like we've just reversed back up to this hourly level to complete the turtle soup, which is what I had marked out initially. And I said yesterday in the video of the draw on liquidity what I wanted to see. Turtle soup. Now selling off with big displacement. But we've already taken out this sell side level, so yeah. I will now go over my draw on liquidity for tomorrow. And go over news. So let's first look at news to see if I'm even trading tomorrow. Okay, pre-market, and then yeah, okay, trading tomorrow. Right, let's start with NQ. So daily here, we're retracing back down into this daily fair value gap. We've just disrespected this daily, so I would expect to see lower prices in the coming week. I'm going to just adjust this. So, however, the sell side has now been taken. I do think, I mean, this is, I'll get pretty close to the mic there. This is pretty much equal lows. I want to check trading view here to see how different it is, that chart disparity. Because if NQ is looking clean, then it's a bit more of an indication as well. Yeah, it's the exact same. Okay, so I'd probably consider this relative equal lows. Yes, this technically got taken, but I still consider this equal lows. Again, in this 4-hour fair value gap, which we're holding. This 4-hour has not yet been retraced back into. Down to the 1 hour here, setting up the chart for tomorrow. Tomorrow, 28th, yes. So obviously, buy side's been taken in this 1 hour fair value gap. These are my buy side levels. So going into tomorrow, it kind of depends. We've still got a lot of time in the overnight session. Going off if I treat this as a liquidity sweep, this could be a push up and now we're retracing, and then we can maybe go and see higher prices if we disrespect this hourly fair value gap. But however, I would most likely think what's going to happen is this hourly is going to hold. We're going to just chop a bit, chop a bit, chop a bit. I'll draw in this high actually. Potentially maybe swipe this high and then head lower. Or we might swipe this in the overnight session and be somewhere down here. And then I'll be looking most likely for some longs because we're generating lots of liquidity. And we're in a 4-hour fair value gap, so yeah, all depends what happens in the overnight session. No clear bias at the moment. Let's check ES to see if ES is the same. Okay, so just looking at this chart, we still look bullish, like we wanna come up and expand to this high. And we're also in this daily fair value gap, which is what we're continuing to respect. The 4-hour here, we've got these generated equal highs. However, on trading view, yeah, it's a bit scuffed because on trading view, that high was taken. So I'm gonna write that in as equal highs / trading view took this, or trading view swept. If I'm treating this as trading view swept this is a push down. This fair value gap should hold. And then we'll potentially go see this sell side level, or this sell side level, or even this sell side level. If this 4-hour proceeds to hold, if it gets run through, because what's happened is we've now swept some form of sell side here. We now could rally up and then take out these highs, but these highs just got taken out. So in terms of reading the market, I actually don't really have a bias at all for ES. ES could technically, buy side's been taken, so I'd want to maybe see sell side. Potentially we range, maybe swipe this high one more time, or maybe we hold this fair value gap and look lower, but I really want to wait and see what the higher time frame draw is, because on a higher time frame, we're in this 4-hour fair value gap. This may have got swept, it may have not. So I'm unsure on that. I don't want to really. If this is equal highs, then this is a serious target. If this got swept, then I don't really give a fuck about this, and we're gonna head lower. But I need more structure to tell me. What I think most likely is gonna happen though is this 4-hour will hold, and again we'll be selling off, looking to maybe hit some of these sell side levels in the coming couple of days. What is interesting though is when we sold off to the sell side level, we instantly rallied back up to buy side. So we're starting to get some nice conditions, some nice buy side to sell side, which is what my edge is working off. So yeah, what did I do right? Again, I used good model, good risk, good psychology, stepped away when I needed to. What did I do wrong? Could have left for more runners. Again, that's a pretty good problem to have, that I could have made more money. Like that's a pretty good problem to have. I'm not mad about that. Potentially a bit quick when entering as well, so what I'll try and do is slow it down and be more picky with my entries, because I had a few trades in there which, you know, silly losses build up as well. So yeah, day 2 as well, tomorrow. We'll see what happens. I'm liking what's happening with the action there recently. No news as well. And again, streaming 8 till 10 and 2 till 4. I think I've covered everything I wanted to cover. Yeah. So, yeah, I'll see you in tomorrow's charting session. Hard.